Hello, my dear students. Welcome to my today's online class on yet another topic pertaining to the phylum Arthropoda, meant for second semester BSc Zoology subject, which is a part of curriculum of MEERA B K University, Palace Road, Bengaluru 1 and also Bengaluru City University. In my previous class, I have taught you the general characters of phylum Arthropoda and its classification up to the level of classes with suitable examples, ambiguity in the classification patterns, all that. Now we shall move on to the second topic in the same paper. It is something pertaining to one particular genus called Peripatus, which belongs to the minor phylum Onychophora according to the latest classification, and earlier it was treated as a class under phylum Arthropoda. So today we are learning more about Peripatus, its systematic position, unique features of Peripatus, and its affinities with Annelida and the phylum Arthropoda. Now here I have to tell you what is the systematic position, what do you mean by systematic position, and what I meant by affinities. Whenever we talk of an animal, we assign that particular animal to a group of animals, any order, class, phylum, etc., and place it there because of its so many morphological features, similarities, differences, etc. So assigning an animal to a particular systematic position is the one what we have to learn about Peripatus and its systematic position. And then affinities. Sometimes if few animals, though they don't have any economic significance, they will have zoological or phylogenetic significance in the sense they share the characters of two different phyla and sometimes more phyla. Then we have to learn about the similarities of this particular genus with different phyla, and that we learn under affinities. Okay. So with this basic conceptualization of systematic position and affinities, now let us start our class and learn more about this very interesting genus called Peripatus. Now, so this belongs to the phylum Arthropoda and session 2. Yeah, this is me teaching in the Department of Zoology, MEERA B K Lectures University, Palace Road, Bangalore, and I am MEERA B K heading the Department of Zoology. Now, what you are seeing now is the line diagram of the Peripatus. What we are going to learn more about it today. You can see almost a caterpillar-like structure, and what makes this genus so very special, because it has become the point of interest for zoologists. Please note, this doesn't have any economic significance, but still it has phylogenetic significance, and therefore it is very interesting for zoology people. Okay, and this is its photograph taken in situ, all right, in its natural habitat, and this is how the animal looks like, right? Now, so Onychophora peripatus, the genus, belongs to the minor phylum Onychophora according to present day classification, and according to earlier classification, Onychophora is a class under the phylum Arthropoda. Whatever it is, we shall know more about it, and as on today, it is treated as a separate minor phylum. Alright. So this is a Greek term. Onychophora is a Greek term. Onyx means claw and pherin means to bear. So it means claw-bearing animals. Onychophorans include all claw-bearing animals. Onyx means claw and pherin means to bear. So this is the etymology of the term Onychophora. Right? Etymology is the science which deals with the origin of a particular term. Alright. Claw-bearing animals. Onychophorans meaning claw-bearing animals. Then, yeah, as I was telling you, it was conventionally classified as one of the classes under the phylum Arthropoda in previous days. But modern system of classification has given it the status of an independent phylum, and since there are only 70 species included in this phylum, it is treated as a minor phylum. Okay, there are many minor phyla like Rotifera, etc. Like this, Onychophora now is treated as a minor phylum. When you use the term minor, when there are less number of species being included on that phylum. Alright. So this is a sort of introductory slide for our learning. Then, the most familiar genus in the minor phylum Onychophora happens to be the Peripatus, whose line diagram and photograph both I have shown in my previous slide. Why it becomes very interesting to look at? It looks like a caterpillar. Caterpillar. Why it is so interesting for zoologists is it displays, it shares the characters of both annelids as well as arthropods. And please note, apart from displaying annelidan and arthropodan characters, it shows its own typical, salient, unique features. Right? Okay. So, owing to its resemblance to these two phyla, basically, Annelida and Arthropoda, Peripatus is often regarded as a connecting link between the phylum Annelida and Arthropoda. Okay. So, for 10 marks, a paper sitter can ask, Peripatus serves as a connecting link between phylum Annelida and Arthropoda. Justify. When you have to discuss what all I am going to teach you in this class. To begin with, we shall study the peculiar features of this genus. Okay. What are the special features? The body wall is dermomuscular. While studying annelids in your previous sem, you must have been taught that annelids exhibit dermomuscular body wall. Here also, the body wall is of dermomuscular type. That means you find an outermost cuticle that is followed by an epidermis, followed by dermis, and below these three layers, you find a muscular layer consisting of circular muscle as well as longitudinal muscles. So, the body wall consists of outer cuticle, followed by epidermis, followed by dermis, that is followed by a layer of circular muscles and a layer of longitudinal muscles. All these layers put together forms what is known as body wall, and therefore we describe this type of body wall as dermomuscular because you find muscular layer as well as skin layer. Alright. This is a peculiar feature of Peripatus, though same type of body wall is seen in annelids, there are minor differences. Okay. Then, coelom is in the form of small cavities around the gonads, that is reproductive organs, and metanephridia, excretory structures. So, coelom is confined to these in the form of small cavities, a peculiar feature of Peripatus. Then, the body cavity is a hemocoel. Body cavity is a hemocoel lined with epithelium. Same hemocoel is seen in arthropoda also, right? But there are minor differences, right? Then you find a pair of slime glands located on either side of the body cavity, a unique feature of Peripatus, and the slime glands are basically meant for secreting the slime to keep the body moist all the time. Okay. These are basically nocturnal animals, always found in damp places like found below the logs of trees, etc. Alright. Then the mouth leads into alimentary canal. It consists of tongue and rows of sensory spines, followed by muscular pharynx, that is followed by large salivary glands, which are accessory digestive glands, and then a short esophagus. Then you find a long midgut consisting of stomach and intestine, and a short hindgut or the rectum. This is how the alimentary canal is formed, right? Then the respiratory organs are unbranched trachea communicating outside through spiracles. This is a resemblance with arthropods, but still you don't find exactly puckered tracheal system as you see in insects. Hence it forms a unique feature. So the respiratory organs are unbranched trachea, and as usual they communicate the outside through the spiracles or the openings which communicate to the outside, right? Then the excretory organs are coxal glands opening at the base of legs, right? Then you find a dorsal tubular contractile heart. Dorsal tubular contractile heart being present in the pericardial cavity, right? Then these are all the unique features of Peripatus. Now let us talk about the unique features pertaining to the nervous system. Let's see. The nervous system consists of a brain, and then you find two circumpharyngeal connectives and a pair of longitudinal nerve cord that runs all over the body. Then you find a pair of sensory organs in the form of a pair of eyes at the base of the antennae. You must have seen in the photographs. In the head region you find a pair of sensory structures which are called antennae. At the base of them you find a pair of eyes. Then you find taste spines on the lips and in preoral cavity, and tactile spines on the surface tubercles. Okay. This is the status of nervous system and sensory organs in Peripatus. Then the female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts, and please note you find a pair of beaded uteri, uterus singular, uteri plural, a pair of beaded uteri. And then the male system consists of a pair of testes, TES plural, TIS singular, please note, a pair of testes, vasa differentia, genital openings and seminal vesicles. Then the female produces about 30 or more young ones in a year. The young resembles the adults. So these are the unique features of the genus Peripatus. Okay. After having learnt the unique features, now we should discuss about the affinities of this genus. Affinities, as I was telling you, what are its resemblances with annelids, what are its resemblances with arthropods, and what are its resemblances with the slugs or molluscans, and where exactly you are going to keep this genus in the taxonomic ladder. This is our job now. Now this Peripatus, as I was telling you, doesn't have any economic importance, but very interesting because it shares the characters of Annelida arthropoda apart from its own peculiarities. Now we shall talk about annelidan characters. You have studied few annelids in your previous sem like Nereis, Heteronereis, Aphrodite, earthworm, leech, like that. You have seen that they are all worm-like creatures, what we say vermiform body. Similarly, the Peripatus, it is a vermiform body shows a vermiform nature with truncated extremities. Then, absence of true head. Actually, the cephalization or cephalization, that is formation of head in true sense, is seen for the first time in arthropods during the course of evolution. So here, absence of a true head. And then dermomuscular body wall consisting of cuticle, all that I have told you, muscle layer, etc. So it is an annelidan character, but since there are subtle minor differences, it becomes unique character, unique feature for the genus. Then locomotion is very slow and by peristalsis, as you see in the case of earthworm. Since the locomotion is slow, some of the zoologists kept this under the phylum Mollusca earlier. Okay, they were treated as slugs. Okay, and locomotion happens by peristalsis. By now you must be knowing what is peristalsis. That is alternate contraction and relaxation of the body, right? So by peristalsis in the case of earthworm. One more beautiful example for peristaltic movement is movement of food in your esophagus. That's what exactly I meant by peristalsis. Then, structure of eyes is simple. As you see in polychaetes, Polychaeta is a group in annelids. Alright. Then, very important, unjointed, please note, unjointed, a non-arthropodal character, hollow, stumpy appendages, almost like the parapodia of polychaetes. I have shown you this in the photograph, right? Then, simple straight alimentary canal with terminal mouth in the anterior end and anus in the posterior end. Then segmentally arranged paired nephridia. Then similar excretory glands. Then presence of cilia in excretory and reproductive ducts. So all these characters, if you look at, you feel like coming to the conclusion that Peripatus should be kept under the phylum Annelida because it shows more all these resemblances with annelids. Now let us see what are the other characters that the Peripatus shows other than annelids and which are more nearer to arthropods. Okay. Presence of antennae is an arthropodal character. Jaws are modified appendages with striped muscles. Same case you see in arthropoda. Then, locomotion by definite legs with well-defined musculature and claws. Right? What we say parapodia here. But there are differences between the biramous appendages typical of arthropods and parapodia of this. Right? Then cuticle with thin deposit of chitin. In my previous class I have explained about this chitin, and this is an arthropodal character. Body cavity is a hemocoel, which again I have taught in my previous class while talking about general characters of arthropoda. Body cavity is a hemocoel. In this sense, it is more nearer to arthropods. Then coelom is reduced to small cavities around gonads and metanephridia. So again an arthropodal feature. Peculiar salivary glands, dorsal tubular heart, presence of tracheal type of respiratory system, what you see in insects, right? Large and typically arthropod-like brain, right? Then general structure of the reproductive organs resemble the arthropods. Okay. Now, when you look at all these similarities with arthropods, so now you feel like telling that, and it, though it shares anneliding characters, it shares same number of characters of arthropods. Now, where to keep this animal? Whether in the phylum Annelida or in the phylum Arthropoda. But please note, before assigning the animal to a particular taxa, you should study the onychophoran characters also. What are the salient features, unique features, which are neither like arthropods nor like annelids. Body shows no or indistinct external segmentation. Then texture of the skin, rough cuticle covered with numerous velvety processes, which is not seen in other phyla. And this you can see when you come to practical classes, when you see the animal, of course, fixed in formalin, okay. Antennae, they are not homologous to the antennae of arthropoda, though you find antennae. Then you find a three-segmented head, which is a condition intermediate to annelids and arthropods. Then restriction of jaws to single pair. Then irregular distribution of spiracles of the tracheal openings, which is definite in case of arthropods. Then two widely separated nerve cords and no true ganglia. Then structure of eyes is less complicated. Then distribution of reproductive organs. And here, concentrate on the first point. There is a small spelling mistake. Nerve cords. When you write nerve cord, actual spelling is C-O-R-D. Sorry for the spelling mistake. Nerve cord is N-E-R-V-E, C-O-R-D, nerve cord. At the same time, when you write notochord, N-O-T-O-C-H-O-R-D, there it C-H-O-R-D comes. So nerve cord is C-O-R-D, notochord is C-H-O-R-D. Sorry for the spelling mistake. Correct it. Please note it. And I have to apologize you for one more spelling mistake in slide number 7. And while typing and D has been left out, you can see just an, right? Please note it should have been A-N-D and in slide number 7. Sorry for these two typographical errors. Now, we shall continue. So, after learning the unique features of onychophorans, as I was telling you, in one or two characters they show similarities with mollusca, phylum mollusca. This made previous zoologists to keep this under the phylum mollusca because of its slug-like appearance. So it was kept under mollusca due to its slug-like appearance of the body, and one more feature is ladder-like nervous system, which you see in mollusca. But later, scientists found out that these are only superficial resemblances and has nothing to do with affinities or systematics. So better ignore these resemblances while assigning this particular animal to its taxonomic position. Alright. Then after having learnt all this, now we shall try to assign the position, systematic position of this particular genus Peripatus, which belongs to the minor phylum Onychophora. So point number 1, it shares the characters of both annelids and arthropods. So they are regarded as intermediate stage or connecting link between annelid and arthropod. However, they are more allied species to arthropods than to annelids, and finally you can say that they have arisen as an offshoot from the base of arthropod line, similar to the minor phylum Onychophora, which has been mentioned in our previous semester while talking about the phylum Coelenterata. There also you find ctenophores which have arisen as an offshoot, right? In the same way here, Peripatus or the Onychophorans have arisen as an offshoot from the base arthropod line. Okay? Now, so based on these phylogenetic considerations, Manton and many other zoologists of those time included Onychophora as a class in the phylum Arthropoda, telling that it is a primitive arthropod because it resembles annelids in few characters. But lack of exoskeleton, absence of jointed limbs, then presence of annelidine characters creates a serious problem to assign this particular genus to the phylum Arthropoda. Now, if so, where are we going to keep? So, many people say that Peripatus is definitely an annelid because of its vermiform appearance. In fact, they are neither worms nor arthropods, but they have unique salient features of their own, right? Now, hence, nowadays, Onychophora is treated as a separate minor phylum. Alright? Why minor? Because there are hardly 70 species in this phylum. Therefore, minor. Now, after having learnt all this, after having listened to all these debates put forward by different zoologists, ultimately what is the conclusion? A very important statement of your answer. What is the conclusion? See, it is undoubtedly a very ancient group, right? Because a fossil animal which belonged to mid-Cambrian period, Achaia, it closely resembles the modern Onychophorans. Okay. Therefore, it is a very ancient group and its extreme isolation and discontinuous distribution. What do you mean by that? Isolation means they are not found in all regions, zoocontinental regions, and discontinuous distribution in the sense, as on today they are restricted a particular region, Australian region, and not found anywhere. Don't say they are present in our lab in the bottle. We have procured to show you how a Peripatus looks like. Okay. So, this discontinuous distribution at present, suggests that this animal has lived through many geological ages and it is more widespread and diversified in the past, not now. So, Achaia and Peripatus suggest that Arthropoda may have evolved from annelid-like creatures. Okay. So this is the formal conclusion that has been drawn by the zoologists after having learnt about this Peripatus in detail. Okay. Dear students, till now I have discussed the minor phylum Onychophora, about Peripates, its unique feature, annelidan characters, arthropodan characters, molluscan characters, and its affinities with annelida and arthropoda, and its systematic position, right? Hope you have understood it. Now it is the time for me to give you a few questions which I have given in my study material also, which will be supplied to you along with this video presentation. First question, which is the most familiar genus of the phylum Onychophora? 1 mark. Give out the meaning of the term Onychophora. Again 1 mark. That is etymology of Onychophora. Then list the annelidan and arthropodan characters of Peripatus, mostly for 5 marks, or sometimes 5 marks for annelidan characters and 5 marks for arthropodan characters. Then discuss the systematic position of Onychophora for 10 marks. Same question may be asked in a different manner. Genus Peripatus is a connecting link between the phylum Annelida and Arthropoda. Justify your statement for 10 marks. Okay. Now, my dear students, till today I have uploaded 2 recorded lectures, video recorded lectures. Next week or sometime so, I am going to have an interactive class, online class on the Teachment app. Be ready for that, and the link for once the class is scheduled, the time and the date and the link will be furnished on your WhatsApp group. Please do join for interactive sessions of both the videos. Both the videos I am going to discuss. You make note of all the doubts of these 2 topics, and you can just discuss with me your doubts. We shall have a sort of interactive sessions. I am going to brief both the videos in the first half of the interactive class, and in the second half you can raise your questions, doubts, queries, etc. Okay. Till then, stay blessed. And here I have given few references. The book references, same, Invertebrate Zoology by Kotpal, Jordan and Verma, S.N. Prasad. You can also refer to Invertebrate Zoology, Manual of Zoology by Ekambranathan and Vishwanathan, part 2, because till Annelida it is part 1, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, part 2. Then web references, you can log on to studyandscore.com, toppers.com, etc. Okay. Now, let me finish my class. Thank you for your patient listening. Stay blessed. Thank you.